What's up, cereal bowls? It's your favorite crazy cereal, InsaneAppleJackz, and I'm here once again with the Atomic Game Squad, where today I'm coming back to you to chill as the Cartoonist once again, because you can see my shirt changed, and it's a different day from the actual day that I did my first part to this review, but I thought I'd come back and finish my school days overview and recommendation and whatever the hell it is at this point, because I have some justification to do, I guess. But before we get into that, how are you all doing? Because I am doing super duper chill, and it is amazing to come back and see you all. So, I know after the last video, a bunch of you are like, well, why the fuck did he give it an 8 out of 10? Why does this anime deserve an 8 out of 10? This is probably the worst thing ever, and blah, blah, blah. And mainly, the reason why I didn't go into too much detail, like I said, is I was trying to keep that video from being spoiler-oriented, because I know some people care about that, and I also didn't want to do a jump skip thing and, you know, risk it, so, right? So basically, this video is going to be talking about what I thought of the anime, partially characters and stuff like that, and be an overbriefing. This is all my opinion, so if you don't like it, I understand, leave a comment down below, tell me what you don't like about it, and all that other stuff. So jumping right into this, right, the characters that, so the reason I actually like this anime is because I get it. Like, I can rationalize with a lot of the decisions that are made within this anime. Even though I don't always like these decisions, I feel like, wow, I get why you did this. I get why you chose to go down this path within this character or whatever. And that makes me feel for these characters. No matter how much I want to hate them, I still have some type of compassion for some of these characters. Like, for a second there, I was thinking about marking Makoto as like my worst anime character, period, thus far. Mostly because I was like, God. Because I started to like the guy so much from the beginning, and I was just like, okay, so much love, right? Because he was relatable. And then it gets to a point where I'm like, you're relatable, but at the same time, I can't stand you. And then at a certain point, it's like, you know what? I'm mad at him, but I can understand why. And at the same time, it was really good writing on their part to make a character you're supposed to enjoy from the beginning, and then just slowly develop him into this guy that you can't stand. And over time, you just want to see that ending, that twist, that plot where he just gets killed. Because bitches be crazy! Okay, understand how I've been holding that in for a day, and I've just been wanting to use that. And honestly, what better way can you describe this anime than bitches be crazy? Alright, so moving on to more than that. Out of everybody, I have to say that Koroso, I apologize, I'm butchering again. It's been a grown-ass day. So, I'd have to admit that his first girlfriend, aka his first love interest, Kotahana, that I actually loved her. Like, she was my favorite character. And the main reason I wanted to kill him every time I saw him is because it's like, bro, stop hurting her. If you could just stop hurting her, I would be cool with you on every level. It doesn't matter what you do from there. You could be with Sekai. I'd enjoy you being with Sekai. Just stop hurting Kotahana. That's bae right there. And that's mostly because I like yanderes. But that's a different subject for a different day, and, you know, this anime turned me on to yanderes. I apologize. But, I don't know, it's like, every time I saw her, I was like, yeah, she's getting an ego boost. She's becoming this super cool person now, and, you know, she's not just that shy chick. And then he goes and beats a dick in her heart, her mind. She just has like a pure breakdown. And it was sad to see her in this status. And I was just feeling it. I was like, bro, if this was really a bad anime, I wouldn't give a fuck. But I feel for her. And altogether, it was just amazing to see her snap towards the end and taking stands towards herself. Because I was having an issue every time I'd see, like, the bullies picking on her, and I'd be like, bro, this is your fault. You're an asshole, Makoto. This is exactly why I don't like you. Into our main catalyst, how can I forget Sitkai? Because she sat up here and she started that feel. And I think the greatest scene was when her best friend Setsuna sat up here and had that little poetry scene, and they were going through it, and it's like, you know, you weren't ever doing this for her. You weren't ever doing it for him. You were more so doing this to get closer to this flower and be like, okay, acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. Aren't I a great person for doing this? Now let me show you how to do what I just did on a great scale for you. And it was so true. And I don't know, I kept calling stuff out of this anime. Not gonna lie, I was calling that Kotahana was gonna be the crazy bitch. And for lack of a better word, I do apologize if you get offended by that, but you know. And she kind of did turn out to be, but let's all admit, Sekai, OG crazy bitch of the series. And I just love how it's like, okay, no, you're wrong, but I'm gonna keep doing it. No, you're wrong, I'm gonna keep doing it. And she's the one that keeps she's like slowly seducing him into it, trying to push everything off and make him her own strictly. But at the same time, she's like, no, you're wrong. And it's like, bro, you can't make him out to be the bad guy, and then you sit up here and you do all this stuff, and it's like, okay. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of give Makoto a pass as well in this series, because for two of them, at least two of them, maybe three-ish, you could argue, it's not completely his fault that he was super dickish about it. Now, granted, everything could have been solved if he just broke up with the chick, but the one where Sekai is like, the electricity, and she super seduced him, and right? And then the second one with the chick from his middle school, Amate. Yeah, tear me up in the comments below. Pronunciation! Bruh, let's just admit it. Dude was super naive. He was like, oh cool, where are we going? What's this little room? Why is there a bed in here? Oh my god, there's a woman. And that's how that went. But, you know, after that point, you kind of start feeling that dickish moment because he kept doing stuff like that. But at the same time, I can't be mad at most of these characters because most of them had a reason. The reason I wanted to be mad at Sekai so bad is because her, unlike everybody else, she didn't really have a reason. Like, Setsuna, she had a reason because, oh, Makoto was super nice to her when she was being bullied. He gave her that courage that she needed. Cool. Let's see. Amate, they have a past. They have history. And pretty much that history made them want to, well, that made her want to be with him. Like, she was admiring him ever since middle school, and she just wanted to be seen as a woman in his eyes. Kotahana, she always had that feeling like he was a guardian over her shoulder or something on a train. And that all felt so good. But Sekai, bro, what the fuck were you doing? It's like, did you just want it to want it? What was your real thing, Sekai? Come on! I know you have a better reason than that. Okay, so let's talk about the absolute scum of this whole thing. Like, we can be cool with everybody. I can remove everybody else's marks. Let's talk about Taisuku Sawan. Makoto's best friend. I'll put it like that. I apologize. I didn't really give a fuck about the guy. And then he really fucking irritated me. Because it's like, okay, so you're Makoto's girl. No, you're Makoto's girl. I'm gonna keep stirring up shit because you're Makoto's girl, but you're not Makoto's girl because Sakai's Makoto's girl. But you know, Sakai's not Makoto's girl because everybody keeps denying it. And then he's like, you know what? You won't realize it, and I want it, so I'm gonna take it. And then that scene just killed me. Like, I wanted to, wah! And just jump through the screen like, you son of a bitch! And, I'm sorry, I'm super emotional about this. You feel, right? You feel? Like, there are super great scenes that build upon this anime that just make you want to feel for it. Like, when Makoto actually comes over and he chills with Kankuro, Konohana's little sister, or later on how it's funny how naive she is, but her friend of the same age could see what's going on, and she's like, oh bro, you wouldn't get it because you're not somebody's girlfriend, so you wouldn't get how it looks like Makoto is more so girlfriends with Sakai. And now, overall, I will say I gave this a lot of points because I was going in depth and I felt how the characters were going through, and I felt the reasonings. I felt like this was good enough because the characters, while some people would say the story wasn't the strongest, it had good characters in it. Like, okay, you're likable, and then you get to a point where you're hateable, but that's kind of where they were pushing you towards, and I can respect that. You became that. But at the same time, you weren't that by yourself. Outside forces made you that. Let's see. Also, the interactions. Yes, interactions. You just wanted to keep seeing these characters interact. Like, oh my god, your conversations, they might not be about the greatest things, but the way you guys react to them and how these scenes play out, it's actually pretty funny. And, I don't know, it was like a romance comedy kind of thing to me until they got to the scene where bitches be crazy. And, legitimately, now the sound, I'm not gonna lie to you about that. I'm with everybody else. I didn't really get how this anime had like 41 songs plus, because it really felt like a good 5, maybe 10 max, and I was like, oh. But the ones that were there, I give them props because they did coincide with what's going on at the moment. It's just some of them is like, there are 41 songs in this? The fuck was I? My main point being here is that I enjoy the character development. I enjoy the actual idea of the anime. While the sound might not be up to par completely, yeah, the animation was pretty good looking. Like, it was some sexy ass animation. Like, every part might not have been up to par. Like, there were some scenes where the anime would just completely turn on its side for no reason, and I guess that was... I don't get what they were doing there, but at the same point, it's an 8. These flaws did factor in for me. It's an 8. Finally, we do have to talk about the notorious scene because bitches be crazy. I'm sorry. You can't hold that in. You can't. I even listened to the Bitches Be Crazy song before I started this. Just to set up here and prep. Bitches be crazy. But bitches be crazy. Alright. So, understand how, like I said, I was calling this anime down the line for the most part, and I was just sitting up here and I was watching, and I was like, yeah, that happened. Like, that little part of you that cheers on when you predict something right, like, I'm the world's greatest detective. And I was just chilling there, and I was like, yeah. And then it gets to the part where Sakai's there, and they're talking about the clinic and everything, and I was like, oh my god. my prediction about somebody dying is going to happen, but I don't know how it's going to happen, because I just felt it in the air, like that Bill Collins song. I can feel it. I can feel it in there. But it was like, bruh. And you just feel bad for Makoto, because it's like, no, don't lack! Don't lack! Why are you lacking so hard? Because the little trigger that just set her off, and it's like, I get you want to be with him. I get you want him to be your own. But damn, why you have to be overly... And it's like, okay, ... You're scrolling through all these dots. You never thought to... like the way this man... Now, what makes it worse, Sitkai, she just sits up here and she goes home and she regrets it, I believe. And I don't know. It feels like... because you know how much force you were putting into that. You know how you were killing him. You know what you were doing through those stabs. Each emotion. And you were like... okay. You didn't feel bad till the end, and then you went home, and then it was like, oh shit, I did fuck up. And then you kind of... you feel me. And then it just becomes so perfect, because the silent character that you've been pushing around this whole anime, like everybody's been pushing around because of your actions. Your friend Setsuna, while she had her own reasons because she also enjoyed his company, she was pushing her around. The worst characters in this anime, the little clique that was Otame's clique. Oh my god, the bitchiest anime characters ever. Like, everything about them was non-redeeming. Well, until Namakura. No, not Namakura. That's the wrong friend. Hikara Korda. The one with the little blonde hair, and she had the weird ponytails that wrapped up around her head. Like super rings or something. She had some redeeming factors. Like, oh, don't you care about how Sikai's doing and all this when she got pregnant or whatever? Not when she got pregnant. When she was depressed and everything, and after he started cheating on her, she went to check on her. She did all this other crazy stuff to make sure that Sikai was cool. I mean, she was still fucking around, but then she still had those moments where it's like, well, you got time to fuck around, so go check on your girl. And it's just funny how these interactions were, and how well that brought that back together. Like, okay, she has a redeeming factor. She even had a reason, I guess. Like, oh, everybody's talking all this shit about you. You know, I'm gonna go see for myself. The rest of the bitch squad, they were just a bitch squad. What can I say? Oh, everybody's talking about how good it is, and let's go find out for ourselves, right? Well, we're still bitches, but that's all I can really say about School Days. It put me through those feels. I enjoyed how the characters interacted. I loved the visuals that went along with it. I'm just kind of speechless. Not speechless enough to give it a higher score, but I don't see why it has such a low score and a bad reputation within the anime community, and I believe it does deserve an 8 out of 10. I mean, 8 out of 10 doesn't necessarily mean that you match up with other 8 out of 10 animes. It just means in your own right, out of your category, you are an 8 out of 10. So say I give something else an 8 out of 10, doesn't necessarily mean this is the same caliber. Or if I give something lower than an 8 out of 10, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for, it's worse than it completely. It just means out of certain categories, I found it completely beautiful for the reasons that I found it beautiful. So, I'm the Cartoonist. This has been my super long Redux review, overlook, thoughts and stuff about School Days. If you have any other opinions, leave those down in the comments section. Tell me what you thought it is. And pretty much I'll catch you later because, yeah. And we are back at the end of the box after finishing another super duper video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and big thumbs up to everyone who watched this video. Super duper big thumbs up to everyone who watched this video all the way through. I appreciate you all for sitting up here supporting and continuing to help me push forward with my channel and stuff. So thank you all. If you enjoyed my overview, super opinionated 20-minute session about school days, sit up here and give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. And if you have more complicated feelings than that, leave a comment down below. Or if you just want to have a conversation, because this is the spoiler zone right here, we can have a full-on conversation. And yeah, that'd be super duper fun. If you're anybody that came over from the first review and you're checking this out after you finish the actual anime, I appreciate that. So super duper mega thumbs up to all of you out there. And I guess the only thing left to say is 8 out of 10. Do you agree? Right? Right. Finally, we have my social medias over there and links down in the descriptions if you want to check out any of that stuff. If you're new here, first off, welcome to you. And if you enjoyed the content that you just witnessed, there's always that little annotation over there or that big button down there if you want to become a part of the Cereal Bowl Nation, the greatest nation on the YouTubes. So it'd be a pleasure to have you. And I think that's all I really have to say after 20 minutes of just going on about opinions and stuff. So I'm gonna let you all go. Munch, munch, munch. And that's a wrap.